I'm going to kind of rush through these a little bit, but I'll play one more audio, or maybe two more audios. But this is Blair Whitmarsh out in the Langley area, running for the Langley Township Council. 23 competitors, running for a political office, absolutely no online presence. He contacted us at the beginning of last summer. November was coming up. That was election day, November 15th, 2014. So short on time, election looming, running against 24 hours. Outcome, historically, first time running as a candidate. Nobody really knew who he was, especially in the political scene, and he won the election. So today he's a councillor in the township of Langley. What we did, created a website to help Blair share his story and tell his story. Developed a simple social media strategy. But the biggest thing we did, again, was we developed a 15-minute podcast for him to really give him a strong voice so he could be able to talk to the people that were thinking about voting for him. So, Justin, if you could, let's just play, let me actually... So here we are. So now imagine, now what happened with this is very interesting. He was starting to get calls from his competitors saying, who's backing you? This is, where did you get all the money to put all of this together? This looks so good. There must be a big corporation behind you. And he actually funded it all himself, and it didn't cost a lot of money. And what we wanted to do, in addition to giving him a voice, giving him a way to talk to people, and giving a way for people to share the information around, we wanted to kind of set the feeling for how he was communicating. So we really spent some time putting together a nice intro for him to really kind of set the stage. So maybe you could play that.
The township of Langley is a diverse and growing community, rich in history. From the neighborhoods of Alder Grove, Brookswood, Willoughby, and Walnut Grove, to the Campbell Valley Park, and the historic communities of Murrayville and Fort Langley, the area is growing at a record pace. Join Blair Whitmarsh to learn more about his background, his values, and what he wants to accomplish as a member of council for the township of Langley.
Well, yes, this is Derek Reynolds, and I am your host today. I'm back again with Blair Whitmarsh, candidate for the Township of Langley Council, and today I will be talking with Blair about the growth of Langley and his thoughts on a balanced plan to manage their growth for future generations. Now, before Blair joins us, just as a reminder that if you have questions or require assistance, you can visit Blair online at blairwhitmarsh.com and on Facebook at facebook.com/BlairWhitmarsh. Well, Blair, it's great to be talking with you again today.
Thank you. Good to be here.
Yeah, you know, one of the primary issues for lower mainland.
So now what you're hearing here, and a lot of people say, you know, again, how do I make money with a podcast? Well, we heard it with Dr. Kale. Essentially, we are serving the needs of somebody who has a problem, and we're inviting them to do business with us, to come and see us. And we can do this. Dan talked about leverage. The beautiful thing about these audios, once they're produced, they just work for you day after day, week after week, month after month. So again, though, how do we call the visitor to action? So if we move to the end of this, podcast, which in this particular case is 16 minutes long, towards the end, as they wrap up the little episode here, we'll hear another call to action on how he got people out to vote for him.
Well, there's going to be significant population growth coming to this area. I know that we can meet that challenge head on. I believe we can come up with community plans that meet the needs of our citizens, and I'm excited to be part of it. And so I'm asking people that on November 15th, they get down to the polling station and they vote for me, so that I can be part of developing the plans for the future of Langley, so that we can have a great future together.
You know, Blair, as always, thanks so much for the conversation, and specifically today, sharing your thoughts and your feelings and your direction specific to the growth of Langley. Looking forward to, of course, that vote on November 15th. Now, for our listener, you can reach out to Blair. You can do a couple of ways. First, on his website, and they give you that website address. It's www.blairwhitmarsh.com. Again, that's www.blairwhitmarsh.com. And you can join the conversation on Facebook. You can do that at facebook.com/BlairWhitmarsh. Now, I also invite you to visit, of course, the website, and while you're there, make sure you subscribe to his podcast. You can hear what Blair stands for in his own words. Listen to the podcast and learn about the issues and what's important for a thriving Langley. And of course, Don't forget to get out and vote for Blair on November 15th for the Township of Langley.
All right, I think that gives you a pretty good idea. So you can keep the production quality up very high. Doesn't cost a lot of money to do this, and it really does leverage your time, because that particular audio was played only about 800 times, but you can imagine him having to do that 800 times individually. It would take forever. So what you were hearing there is a professional intro that sets the mood for the podcast. The professional host introduces the topic, invites the listeners to engage and take action, welcomes and interviews Blair, positioning him as the expert. Professional host asks Blair the final question. Blair shares his final thoughts and asks listeners to vote for him. Professional host thanks listeners and asks them to take action. Reach out to Blair on his website, join the conversation on Facebook, subscribe to the podcast, and of course vote for him on November the 15th. So you can accomplish a lot in a podcast.
10 times your finances, 10 times your business, 10 times your marketing, 10 times your life. Hit the subscribe button now.